Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Pravijakacharya Ashutora Shata Shri Shri Madesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Pravirajakacharya Ashutora Sata Shri Shri Mad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Iskcon founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Ganga Maya ki Jai. Yamuna Maya ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana
Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Suttara Shishima. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Bhutale Srimati Tamal Krishna Goswami Ramane. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Praishu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikir. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Prescribed Duties for Mankind, Chapter 6, the progeny of the daughters of Daksha. In this particular chapter, as it says, it's the progeny of the daughters of Daksha. So, maybe Ananya Bhakti, you can read the summary at the beginning of chapter 6.
As described in this chapter, Prajapati Daksha begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Iskcon. These daughters were given in charity to various persons to increase the population. Since these offspring of Daksha were women, Narada Muni did not try to lead them toward the renounced order of life. Thus the daughters were saved from Narada Muni. 10 of the daughters were given in marriage to Dharmaraj, 13 to Kashyapa Muni, and 27 to the moon god Chandra. In this way, 50 daughters were distributed, and of the other 10 daughters, 4 were given to Kashyapa, and 2 each to Bhuta, Angira, and Krashva. One should know that it is because of the union of these 60 daughters with various exalted personalities that the entire universe was filled with various kinds of living entities, such as human beings, demigods, demons, beasts, birds, and serpents.
That's pretty much the chapter. And if you look at the 6th canto, the first 3 chapters are discussing Ajamil and how he goes back to Godhead. And then the next 3 chapters, 4 to 6, is Daksha, about Daksha and his problems with Narada Muni. And then finally talks about his ability to populate the universe. And then chapters 7 to 9 is Indra and Vishvarupa. And then in this chapter also there's a discussion by Vishvarupa. He gives the mantra to chant the Narasingha Kavacha, okay, to Indra, so he can armor himself, because he wants to fight the demons. Yeah. And at the same time, Vishvarupa, he actually, during the... Okay, who's Vishvarupa? That's more important. Vishvarupa is not of the demigod side. He is actually one of the priests in the Asura side. So, but Indra offended his spiritual master Brihaspati. So then Brihaspati is like, I don't want to see your face, and left. So then the demigods were bereft of their spiritual master, and so their prowess, their prosperity, their opulence, everything went down. Well, when you offend the guru, this is what happens. And so the demons became very powerful. And what happened is they approached Brahma, and Brahma said, talk to Vishvarupa. He might guide you all. And Vishvarupa is, even though he's a descendant of the demoniac side, he's a Brahmana and he has a higher consciousness. He doesn't think like one. Yeah. So whilst the demigods were performing yagnas through Vishvarupa, Vishvarupa on the side, he was giving some of the benefits of the yagna to his family members. And because he's giving it to the demons, Indra got angry and he chopped his head off, killed his own guru like that. And so Vishvarupa's father, Twasta, he gets disturbed, and he calls this demon from the fire, Vritra Sura, to kill Indra. So anyway, that is the chapter 10 to 13, Vritra Sura, and then after that chapters 14 to 17 is Chitraketu, discussion about Chitraketu. And then the last 2 chapters is Diti and Indra. Diti is not happy with Indra because Indra is always killing her children. So she wanted to get revenge, and she wanted to kill him actually. So anyway, that turned out differently. Now in this particular chapter we see how the daughters of Daksha populate this entire universe. So we're going to do text 1, right? So I'll chant and you can repeat. Shri Shuka Vacha Tata Prachitaso Shikshnyam Tata Prachitaso Siknyam Anunita Swayambhuva Anunita Swayambhuva Shashtim Sanjanayamasa Shashtim Sanjanayam Asa Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha. Shri Shuka Vacha Tata Prachita Sosiknyam Anunita Swayambhuva Sastim Sanjanayamasa Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha. Chant.
Siknyam
Tata Prachetaso Siknyam
Anunita Swayambhuva
Anunitam Swayambhuva
Shastim Sanjanayamasa Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha
Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha. Sri Shuka Vacha Tata Prachetaso Siknyam
Anunita Soyambhuva
Anunita Swayambhuva
Shastim Sanjanayamasa
Sastim Sanjanayamasa
Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha
Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha. Shri Shuka Vacha Tata Prachetaso Siknyam Anunita Swayambhuva Shastim Sanjanayamasa Duhitri Pitri Vatsala. Okay. Sri Shuka Vacha Tata Prachetaso Siknyam Anunita Swayambhuva Shastim Sanjanayamasa Duhitri Pitri Vatsalaha. Okay, we can read the word for word. Can read together with me. Shri Shuka Vacha. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Tataha, after that incident, Prachetasaha Daksha, Asiknyam, in his wife named Asikni, Anunitaha, pacified, Swayambhuva, by Lord Brahma, Shashtim, 60, Sanjanayam Asa, begot, Duhitrihi, daughters, Pitri Vatsalaha, all very affectionate to their father. Translation. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, My dear king, thereafter, at the request of Lord Brahma, Prajapati Daksha, who is known as Prachetasa, begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Asikni. All the daughters were very affectionate toward their father. Please repeat. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, My dear king, thereafter, at the request of Lord Brahma, Prajapati Daksha, who is known as Prachetasa, begot 60 daughters in the womb of his wife Asikni. All the daughters were very affectionate toward their father. Daughters are affectionate. Please read the purport.
After the incidents concerning the loss of his many sons, Daksha repented his misunderstanding with Narada Muni. Lord Brahma then saw Daksha and instructed him to beget children again. This time, Daksha was very cautious to beget female children instead of male children, so that Narada Muni would not disturb them by urging them to accept the renounced order. Females are not meant for the renounced order of life. They should be faithful to their good husbands, for if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. As stated in the Shastra, The results of a husband's pious activities are shared by his wife. Therefore, a woman's duty is to be very chaste and faithful to her husband. Then, without separate endeavor, she will share in all the profit the husband earns.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jana-jana Shalaka Chakshu Sanbalitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karati Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripadamam Vande Shri Gurum Denataranam Paramananda Madham Shri Chaitanya Ishwaran Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Savodito Gadodaya Pushpavanto Chitra Sando Tamanudo. So, how many sons did Daksha have? Huh? 30,000? Nah. 11,000? Are you sure? Huh? 10,000? There's two batches. we read yesterday. First one was 10,000 and then the second one was 1,000. So he had 11,000 sons. And then they were all liberated by Narad Muni. So when that happened, Daksha became very, very angry, very disturbed, The one way we can understand is, no doubt Daksha was doing his duty, right? He is trying to procreate and fill up the universe. One of the principles of the reason why there is creation is not properly understood by Daksha. The purpose behind creation is so that we bring in the living entities so that they can practice devotional service to go back to Godhead. So he understood the first portion where to bring in the living entities, but he forgot the principle of helping them go back to Godhead. So in his mind, I'm doing my duty, and Narada is not understanding. He failed to understand that Narada is actually doing his duty as well. So having seen that situation, that unfortunate situation, he loses his temper, he gets angry. Narada sticks around, actually, after the first event, hoping that Daksha would become... Huh? I can't hear you, you're mumbling there.
Kalpataru Mataji said pacified.
So that he becomes pacified and repentant and...
enlightened.
Ready for enlightenment. Right? When someone goes through a difficult situation in life, they become a prime candidate for spiritual understanding or instructions. Right? Oftentimes when your spiritual master chastises you heavily, then you realize, I'm a fool, But before that you think, you sometimes may even think your spiritual master is wrong, like that, So therefore it's important. Narada hung around, but it didn't happen. Daksha did not become what he was hoping for, ready for spiritual life. So then Narada thought, okay, I can't do much, and then he got cursed. Then he said, okay, sayonara, so he left. So, and then Daksha is interesting, as you can see. Srila Prabhupada says that he, instead of having male children, he decided to have female children. Now, of course, even if you look at the previous chapter, having 10,000 sons at the one time, how is that even possible, right? It's just mind-boggling, But we studied about who? Gandhari, right? So what about Gandhari? How was that manifested, her 100 sons? Let someone else. Yeah?
In the pots?
No.
No.
How she gave birth to?
Was that the lump?
Yes.
That mass?
Yeah, a lump of flesh.
Yeah.
And then Vyasadeva, when he sprinkled water, then all the fetuses came out and he put them in pot of ghee. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, I told them that also. They are first test tube babies, yeah. So there you can see, that's one way. And the other way is through the fact that they can do these things. They are highly, you can say it's a different kind of science. The technology is based on these potencies. They can harness energies and so on. These demigods are so powerful. They can actually, through their mind, they can even deliver the child also. So there's various means, and so this is how these children are manifesting. Yeah? It is not given in detail, but that's how it is said like that. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. The second thing is he can decide whether it's a male child or a female child. Don't you think that's amazing? But what are the problems behind that? Huh? Purnamrita? What do you think would be a problem if people can decide what kind of children they want, male or female, it or that?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
If you can decide to have a male or female, you can control that, then what is the consequences of that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't.
You have two life. You can call somebody, you can hand the mic over. Okay, go on.
In Kali Yuga, the people, I don't feel would have the proper ability to responsibly create children. They'd probably create all kinds of weird things.
Okay, in Kali Yuga, they don't have any responsibilities. They'll create all kinds of horrible progenies. Okay. Any other point? Samant? Okay, Samant will tell us.
So there will be imbalance, right? So some people say, okay, I want only son. So then sons will increase. Some say the daughters. So there is the havoc.
Exactly.
The imbalance will be there, and then there will be
the
rivalry.
Exactly. That's exactly what can happen in modern society. Mostly in India. Actually in India, it's an imbalance. Because with the modern technology, right, they know whether they are going to, what is that, sonogram, right? They can find out it's a male and female. So they go and do abortion and they get rid of the female child, and then it's an imbalance in the population, male and female. So therefore it's not a very good power to have in this age actually. Because of, as Patita was saying, people are very irresponsible. They don't understand. Yeah?
Well, what to speak of controlling it? It's like there's some cultures that you'd see that if they had like a female child, they would just kill it and try again.
Yeah. In other places, they kill the female child. They use them as sacrifice like that. So it's very harsh actually if you think about it. Very harsh. Huh? So, but then you can see Brahma pacifies Narada, and Narada is thinking he's very smart, right? Why is he thinking he's very smart? I mean Daksha. Why is Daksha thinking he's very smart?
Because Narada he's a brahmachari, he's not going to liberate the ladies. He's going to get his business done by populating the universe.
Exactly, right? Daksha is thinking, if I have more male sons, Narada is going to come and then educate them in the science of self-realization. And I don't want that. Yeah? But Daksha fails to understand another point, that when he performed the Hansa Guya prayers, what did the Lord tell him? We went through that chapters. Where were your radars? What was his prayers for? Yeah, to get more progeny. And what did the Lord say? Yeah, it will happen. So therefore, he didn't have sufficient faith in the Supreme Lord as well. He was depending on his own strength, prowess, potency, he's thinking, I am doing this. He wasn't thinking it's already blessed by the Lord. He was already blessed by the Lord, right? It is obvious for us on hindsight, but then, but if you really look at it carefully, Daksha failed to realize that. And when Narada could not help him, Narada left seeing Daksha so angry, he was thinking, oh, what power the remnants of the offense to Lord Shiva is. Because in his previous life, he offended Lord Shiva. So that there's vestiges of that offense still lingering in Daksha, that he could not accept Narada's blessings. He couldn't see. He could have said, thank you, Narada, for helping. He couldn't see that. So Narada left saying that, oh, just see the remnants of the offense to Lord Shiva. So we should be very, very, very cautious how we deal with devotees and not offend each other. We shouldn't even hold in our brains or mind, because it can come out one day, and it may not be to our best. Yeah, we don't want that. Why do we? We want to get out of this place. There's so much wonderful games to play with Krishna, right? Run around, do so many other things. Yeah. Okay. So so nowadays the technology, they can't really predict how one can have a male or female child. They're trying, but they still are not capable of. Now, in which canto this Prabhupada said how you can get a male child and female child? We already did that. Third canto. To who? In which discussion? Huh? Devahuti Kardamamudi. At which part of it was it discussed? No. Close, but no cigars. No. This was prior to when he was about to leave Devahuti, right? Then she was saying she wanted to have some child. Before the 9 daughters, she wanted to have children. He was just coming and going, right? Kardama. And when she asked that, Srila Prabhupada then writes in the purport. He explains how one can conceive. And one of the things she tells Kardama is, I'm looking so, distraught, I don't look good. So, and then Prabhupada explains why she needs to look good, so that he can give her male children like that. Yeah. So you can go back and look at that, and then you can understand. Prabhupada says if the woman has more passion for the husband, then the result will be a female child. If the man has more passion for the wife, then he will have a male child like that. But you'd never know, right? Who knows who has more passion, right? Exactly, yeah. So Daksha's nature is to do what he's best at, and that is to perform the progeny activity. And therefore Brahma, understanding that the only way Daksha can make advancement is to continue with his service. And so when he was feeling, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, Brahma again requested him, and he felt good. Hey, Brahma is asking, Yeah, right? Sometimes you find in your life that if your spiritual master says you're a fool and you don't listen, then he'll say, you're so good person, please do this for me. And you're like, oh, I am good, My own spiritual master is asking me, my spiritual master is even taking me as his minister, consulting with me, I must be good, Or he's telling me so many other things, so I must be special, Right? So that's how Brahma saw Daksha, and he was trying to help him. And of course, now that he has female children, he's thinking, oh, now Narada cannot disturb me. So, but as we just discussed, that's not the pardon? That is not the goal, right? We have children not for making sure they get and produce more children. That's not the goal. We have children for, that they also help you to go back to Godhead, and hopefully you help them go back to Godhead. Okay? It's very important we understand these principles properly. Now here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada also says that after he's finished discussing about Narada, he says, females are not meant for renounced order of life. They should be faithful to their good husbands, for if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him. So what do you understand by that statement? Ananya Bhakti. Think. Females are not meant for the renounced order of life. And then he says, they should be faithful to their good husbands, for if a husband is competent for liberation, his wife will also achieve liberation with him.
I guess my first thought when I first read it was women are just more naturally inclined to become mothers and be caretakers, so it's kind of artificial to our nature to want to renounce.
Very nice point, right? They have a specific nature, a nature to help with the growth of a child. They can give something that the men cannot give in general. Exceptions to the rules are there, but we are not talking about those exceptions in general. And your point is very good. What other things did you get out of that? One of you. I'm asking the ladies.
Get a good husband.
Huh?
Get a good husband.
Get a good husband. That is true. Very true. What else? Okay, what does a good husband mean? That's a good point. What is a good husband? What do you understand by a term good husband?
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
I can just think about like someone that is more advanced spiritually and that can help you, keep you on the right path, help you go back to Krishna.
Example?
Like has good sadhana, prioritizes sadhana, not so much work life. And if he sees you slipping, he picks you up and chastises you.
In a nice way.
In a nice way, yeah.
In a loving way.
In a loving way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what a good husband, right? What else do you think? Samant, what is a good husband? You're a husband. You're not good. Why are you not a good husband?
I will answer the first question first. Somewhere Rishabdev says that a man and woman should not marry, but then we are all married. But he means that a man should not marry the woman if he cannot show the path of Vaikuntha to his wife.
Yes.
And then man and woman, then next line he says, man and woman should not produce children, but we all produce children. What he means that if parents cannot show the path of Vaikuntha to the children, they have no right to produce children.
Yes.
So the primary foremost duty for a husband, father, parent is they can show the path of Vaikuntha to their children, to their wife, and not just show the path of Niagara Falls.
Okay. Jai Shri Radha Nilamadhava ki jai. Shri Radha Giridhari Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Shintai Chaitanya Chana Shri Shintai Gaura Chandra ki jai. Okay, now who is not a good husband? Okay, let's answer that question.
So, if husband's activities are not driving towards favorable to Krishna consciousness, then it's just a donkey's labor actually. Whole life providing the Deha Sukh, providing, of course that is required, but the Deha Sukh is to achieve the Atma Sukh, the satisfaction for the soul.
It's for the soul, that's right.
So if husband cannot do that, then the whole life is wasted actually.
Okay, thank you. So Gaura, what are some of the bad qualities a man can develop? Gaura Hari.
Well, if one is, and the ultimate problem would be if one enters married life with the intention of enjoying the situation, being in the center, then it's like you might demand your wife to serve you, to please your senses, and arrange everything in a way that you're satisfied in all circumstances. So you go out to work to try to make a lot of money, but for your own enjoyment and your family's enjoyment, but not offering any of the results to Krishna, or teaching your children to offer their results to Krishna.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Benjamino.
Haribol. I was wondering whether sometimes being married could help the Iskcon movement, whereas sometimes alone you could do less service. Like, I don't know, I was reading Servant of the Servant, and at some point Tamal Krishna Goswami was asking himself, well, should I get married, should I not get married, and would this help, preaching, or so maybe sometimes this should be a good question to decide to get married or not.
A good question for?
Getting married.
Oh yeah, you can think about that in that way, yeah. Will it help me progress in preaching, or will it inhibit me also? So it depends on the individual, yeah. So naturally, in a community of devotees, you have people who are your well-wishers, and meaning they also know your nature also. So when they know you and they want to help you, then they'll give you the right instructions. Right? Sometimes out of, people normally say, oh, this is so cool, just get married, it's so nice, like that. But they don't understand, or they do not tell you why it is nice or why it is not good. I was told when I first joined by some Grihastha guys, they say, if someone tells you to get married, they're not your well-wisher. Because he says they're not telling you the problems of marriage. If they are only going to talk to you about the positive values and not the negative, then they are not your well-wishers. He said they should tell you both and then leave it up to you to decide. So that's how it should be. Ultimately, you have to decide. Right? Even your guru, if your guru tells you don't, then there's a different thing. But then the guru will never say don't. They'll say it will be good for you. Right? The guru will say, it will be good if you don't get married, or he'll say, it's good if you get married. So you have to pick up on their instruction in that way. Many times devotees think the guru must tell you. But then if the guru says marry and then you get into a big problem, then you turn around and say, you are the one who you are the one. You're the source of my problems. So therefore, the gurus generally don't tell you, They'll say, yeah, that's a good girl. If you think you will have to, then, make some arrangements. But they'll never say, go ahead. Or they never say, yes. Never tell you. Yeah, so, and then the ladies on their own, they don't go into renunciation, but they are... Oh, he wants to say some point, yeah.
Of a husband.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go on. Yeah.
Of a bad husband, and
okay.
One that I wanted to highlight was apathy. Apathy. That the husband or any leader should take an active role in seeing to the welfare of the other members. It's very important for those who are social leaders, gurus, whatever, any superior position. There's a psychological principle, 150% rule. Whoever's in the up power position, whoever's more advanced or more aware or more powerful or whatever, they have 150% responsibility to make sure the relationship is positive.
Nice, yeah.
So you go out of your way to see
to make
emotional,
sure, yeah.
mental, spiritual welfare of the other members of your family. That's part of the gig.
Them, ask them, question them. I'm here for you. Do you need help? Yeah, like that. Good, thank you. Okay. But the ladies, what are the ladies from the time they are born till the time they leave their body? One of the Prabhupada's 3 aspects of their life. He highlights 3 aspects. Sadhu.
In youth, they're taken care of by the father. In middle age, they're taken care of by the husband. In the old age, they're taken care of by the sons.
Yeah. So therefore, they don't have to
be independent.
Yeah, okay. They don't have to be independent. They don't have to renounce anything. Yeah, because they are always taken care. Yeah. In the first canto, I think in the 8th chapter, Kunti talks about that the Brahmanas, right, children, Vaishnavas, old men, in some places children, so there's 5 of them, should always be protected. Yeah, always. And then Prabhupada in one class, I think in Vrindavan or Los Angeles, he says that they are innocent. They are faultless, like that. Even if they make a mistake, they are faultless. You know? Yeah, they should not be. Yeah, go on.
There's a really great lecture Prabhupada gives on this.
Yeah.
It's really, really sweet. And he says, sadhus, and brahmanas, and women and children should not be chastised.
Yeah.
And everybody, Jai Prabhupada. The women are all, Jai Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Because, I think there was some kind of, men were being a little heavy at the time, maybe very heavy.
Yeah, it
is. But then Prabhupada looked around the room and he said, but don't take advantage.
Yeah.
Everybody laughed.
Of course, we shouldn't take advantage.
It was really sweet.
This is all detailed in Manu Samhita. That one shouldn't, as I was mentioning months ago, heavily chastise a lady or something like that. The parents can when they are young. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. So, but the husband shouldn't heavily chastise the wife. Yeah. So much so that she is like, she doesn't feel sheltered and protected. Yeah. So that must always be in the mind. Okay, she made a mistake, but how you have to learn how to deliver it in the way that it doesn't hurt her. Yeah.
Then the other thing he said is that, so here we have women, brahmanas and sadhus. So who here should be chastised? Nobody should be chastised.
Yeah. But the guru can. There are categories of responsibilities. Yeah, they can chastise. The guru can chastise, your parent can chastise, the demigods can come and chastise, some things like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So we looked at the good husband, we looked at qualities, what else? Yeah, in the Manu Samhita also says that if the wife is very faithful, right, and she serves the husband, so what is the relationship when that term is used, when she's serving the husband? What is the relationship? Yeah, so she sees the husband as a spiritual master, provided the husband is qualified. Exactly, he must be qualified. Otherwise, he cannot hold that rank and position. Right? So then, whatever he gains, even if he goes back to Godhead, the wife gets it automatically. She gets a free ride. Yes! So all you have to do is serve a good man, yeah. Serve a good man. And then even if that man is not good, and if you serve sincerely with Krishna in your heart and spiritual master's instruction, you serve nicely, Krishna will protect you. Eventually he'll take you back. Yeah, sometimes you may see odd situation, a misnomer kind of situation, a very good devotee and she has a terrible husband sometimes, right? She's a sadhu. And then there's cases in the Puranas, right? The husband is not qualified, but the wife is more qualified. I forgot the name. She even saved the husband. Huh? Okay, that's a good one. Nagapatnis. That's very good. Who else? Wives of the Brahmanas. Yeah. Tulsi Maharani for her husband. Yes, that's a good one. Who else? The one case where the husband was really fallen, he was going to see the prostitute. Huh? I can't remember the name. No. He wasn't married. Yeah, she worked in the prostitute house. Yes. Yeah. Okay, Murari was telling the story of how there's a lady a Brahmin lady whose husband was attached to a prostitute, but the prostitute was very expensive. So then she worked with the prostitute, and then the payment was so that her husband can enjoy with her, like that. So then later on the husband got cursed and he was supposed to die before they even conceived the child. So then she did some tapasya, and then she prayed to Yamaraj, and then Yamaraj said, no, he's supposed to die. And then, but she was so powerful, as he was saying, she was so chaste, that she followed Yamaraj all the way. And then Yamaraj said, what do you want? And she said, I want to be with my husband. So he said, no, he's going to hell, so he's going. And then she keeps following. Finally he turns and says, okay, I'll give you some boon, what do you want? Then she says, I want to have child from my husband. Yeah. Where can you find these pastimes? Yes, Satyavan and Savitri. Yeah. So there you can see how the wife is helping the husband. Yeah. So anyway, in this particular context, the wife does not need to endeavor separately. Just like Devahuti also, she didn't have to. Kardama Muni gave her the blessings that her son will deliver her also. Yes, Prabhu.
Is this also the kind of a same principle when it comes to us and our own spiritual master, that we don't endeavor separately to make spiritual advancement, but by serving the spiritual master and pleasing the spiritual master,
yes,
we get the benefits?
Yes.
Also, like followers of Lord Brahma, when he leaves this world, he takes his disciples.
He takes his disciples back to Godhead. Yeah, those are very faithful. Yeah. Of course, bad husbands are also there, but then sometimes you've seen the Puranas and so on. Even the husband may be good, but he may be good to the wife, but he may be doing bad deeds, right? Right or not? Ha hata sma, what is that? Vayam nata loka Ravana. So when Ravana is killed, this Mandodari's wife is saying, oh my Lord, oh Master, you protected us. But you epitomizes the case of troubling everyone, and that is why you are called Ravana. Ravana means he makes everyone cry. Yeah. So, but then she was saying, you're my protector, you're my Lord. Now I have no shelter. Where shall I go? Yeah. So you can see, even though they could be terrible personalities, otherwise they could be good husbands. But you don't want that kind of husband. Okay? You want a spiritually inclined husband. Okay? Not a materialist who's a good materialist. Okay. Yes.
Especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava, it is said that that if the woman of the house become more first Krishna conscious, the chances of the home to become Krishna conscious is more, because she is a home minister, and Stri itself means expand.
Yes.
So if Stri is convinced or in a Krishna conscious, she will expand that Krishna conscious in the whole house, and chances of whole house become.
Very true.
So the preaching more within a woman, if you do, then chances of the whole house will.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, even if you have a good husband, and the good husband give you good instruction, if you don't listen, you end up becoming like, what's the example? Sati. Thank you. Yeah. She didn't listen when Lord Shiva gave her good advice. He said, don't go. You might even die. And she went, and she did die. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. So yeah. Anyway, the rest of the chapter is about different progenies. Kashyapa actually marries, according to this, he marries 17 daughters of Daksha. And two of his wives are Kadru and Vinata. So Kadru is the mother of serpents. And Vinata is the mother of Garuda and Aruna. So they are birds, kind of bird-like personalities. So it's interesting because Kadru, they serve Kashyapa very nicely, and Kashyapa gives a boon to both the wives. You're nice. So then he asked, what do you want? Obviously they knew what they wanted, because she said she wanted 1,000 nagas, snakes. Of course, when they gave the demigods, it's not like snakes. They have a human form, but they can change into nagas. Predominantly nagas who change into human-like form. And their progenies are snakes and other things, which you find in these earthly planets. And Vinata, and it says in the Puranas that Kadru actually gave birth to 1,000 eggs. You can't conceive of that, but that's how it is. And Vinata gave birth to 2 eggs, and they all kept it in the pots also. And after 500 years, the snakes hatched. And of course, Kadru's, they are like young boys and so on. So she had 1,000 sons. She was enjoying. Vinata was not happy, so she went and broke the. Yeah. Yes, you have a question.
I just had a question about one question about what we were just talking about earlier. So I know several women, like devotee women, that are married to non-devotee men, and so, but they're really serious devotees themselves. And I was just going to ask 2 questions really. Like, one is, does the husband get 50% of the wife in that circumstance? And also, is it okay for that, like, naturally a devotee at a stage of life, later years, they just want to maybe take Vanaprast or something. But say the husband is not a devotee. Is it okay for the, devotee lady to go and take Vanaprast, even though maybe the husband is not a devotee, but...
I mean, these are good questions, and probably if you ask this kind of question in the Grihastha forum, they may give you different answers. I would say, from what I can understand, is that does the husband get some? He gets benefit, but I've never read he gets the blessings from the thing. But if she is a devotee and he is serving Jaya Shri Shri Radha Nilamada ki Jaya Shri Radha Giri Giri Govardhan Shri Shri Dajantai Gaura Chandra ki Jaya Iskcon Guruvinda ki Jaya. If he is serving the wife and she is a Vaishnavi, he's going to definitely make advancement spiritually, for sure. Yeah.
prasadam.
Yeah,
hear
and
the
she's offering prashadam. So he's making lots and lots of. So maybe he doesn't think even about devotional service, but this is agyata sukriti. So he's making tangible advancement in that sense. Regarding vanaprastha, that I think it depends on individuals. Couples, they can agree and say, we'll see you, right? Ke sara sara. Right. Okay. Anything else? Last points anyone wants to add? You have an experience?
Of a couple in Michigan, when we were in Michigan. So that Mataji was so strong. She was doing book distribution, DT service, but husband was not doing any this kind of service or interested. But one thing that husband was doing is, when that Mataji come for DT service, book distribution, husband cooks at home. And then that Mataji told to the Prabhuji that when you cook, just put it in front of Krishna and put tulsi leaf and one printout, just read that, that's it. So just by that simple instruction, by serving, actually that he advanced. And now I heard a couple of years back, now he's serving in the temple, husband.
That's how it is.
So,
Jai.
all these
Nice.
direct service, they get
Very
benefit.
nice. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. All right, we'll finish here. Thank you, everyone. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Thai Gaura Premanandi.